I'm Nicky from Creative Stamping, and I'm here to tell you all about issue 71. In this issue we've got fantastic stamps by Helen Griffin from Simply Made Crafts that feature love and laughter and happy ever after. So love, celebrations, but we have so much more than that inside. On the stamp set you've got so many beautiful floral images that you can use to create all sorts of designs on your cards, but what we really love is the fact that we've also got some bird images as well. So you've got these beautiful swans which pair up so gorgeously to make romantic cards, plus you've got little birds here and of course the love birds, and what our designers have done with them is really creative. What I thought I'd do today is show you some of the techniques that our designers have used to colour these images in, because it's a really juicy set of stamps that you can get your teeth into and use a whole different variety of colouring materials. In this demonstration I'm going to show you how our designer Leanne created this really soft watercolouring technique. It's great because you don't have to be perfect, but you get colour into the card and it's really easy to do. What I've got here are a couple of examples. This one is very much how Leanne did it, whereby she stamped and heat embossed a design in white, and I've got a second one here which you can see clearer if you look at this one. So I've done two versions. This one I've already coloured, but on this one what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my watercolour pens. These are Nuvo Aquaflow pens, but there are lots of different brands available, and I'm going to show you how to get the colour onto this. I need my water spritzer because I'm going to make my cardstock wet. Put that one to one side for now. So just a quick spritz, and then I'm going to add some colour to a piece of acetate, but if you've got a glass mat or a mixed media mat, that's absolutely perfect. You can use this. So I'm adding 3 shades, maybe the dark as well, literally a squirt of ink from my pens onto my mat, and I'm picking up with a clear brush which is full of water. So now what I do with my wet cardstock, and I can see there is still water there, I'm going to squeeze a tiny drop onto here and make it really soft. And after this it's just dead easy, just add the colour in. So as I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because this is a real gentle technique. So I'm just picking out the colour. If I find that the colour isn't deep enough, you can dot some of it away, put some more ink on and pick it up that way, and then you will find it's easier to add colour to your design. It might be easier to see if I add some pink to the design. So because my cardstock is already wet, it's not difficult to add the colour like this, and I'm just going to spread it out a little bit with a squirt from the pen just to thin out the water. I'm using a little bit of kitchen roll just to clean my pen. Let's add some yellow to the middle, and then if you want to you can block the whole thing dry and you can add more colour. So I'm going to add some darker green just to highlight some of the areas, and as you can see the ink resists the embossing powder, makes little tiny puddles inside it, so it's really easy to fill a space. But with this technique don't worry too much about what you're doing because it really is simple to complete an image. I'm going to add a little bit more pink into my flower, just like that. Spread it out a little bit, and then just to be sure, one last soft spritz and it just loosens the watercolour, and there you've got a really simple watercoloured background. If you want to, you can just add extra colour around it just for tone, and obviously if you wanted to really highlight the background you could just go over the whole edge of it in a different colour and it will really show up beautifully. But that's how Leanne created her card. This is another great technique using the watercolour pens that Leanne used in the feature, and she's actually inked the stamp up using the pens, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So here's the stamp mounted on an acrylic block, and I'm going to use the same water brush markers. Now I'm only going to use 2 colours for speed, but obviously you can take your time. You can use different colours. So that's the flower stamped in red, or inked up in red. I'm going to ink up the leaves in green. Now I'm not applying any pressure to the pen on this, but because the liquid in these pens is so watery, it's watercolour, it just comes out, so you get enough colour that comes out of the pen. So that is the stamp, fully inked up, ready to stamp. Now I'm going to stamp it over that one. First of all, it's a guide, and secondly, it gives me this beautiful result whereby everything that needs to be coloured is coloured. So let's hope I get this right. Going to take the stamp over the image, press down, lift up, and you've got the colour there. Now hopefully I don't spray the camera when I do this, but if you give it a little spritz, the colour just slightly pops and you can see it just come out there, and it really starts to fill the space. If you then want to do even more colouring, whilst it's still wet, use your water brush and you will see that there is just a little bit of colour in each one, still wet, and you can actually fill this in. And I just love doing this. So you can get some detail into the solid leaves just to add a little bit of something. And of course, if you want to add some yellow to the middle, now's the time to do it. You can even use the actual pen itself. Get a little bit of ink on because it's all wet, so it spreads beautifully. And there's your flower middle. And that's a really lovely subtle colouring technique using the actual stamp to load the ink. Of course, there are lots of other techniques you can use for colouring. You can use your ink pads like your distress inks and pick up the ink in the same way. Or of course, we've got our more traditional alcohol marker colouring. There are enough features in this magazine using the stamps to keep you busy all summer long. Perfect for summer weddings, romantic celebrations, and so much more. We've got lots of birthday cards as well. But as well as that, we've got features in the magazines from some fantastic companies this month. We've got Visible Image, Crafter's Companion, Hunky Dory for the love of stamps, and we've also got a feature from a new company called Picture This, who've got fantastic buildings and creative scene ideas that really you should have a good look at. We also have a masterclass from Sarah Gray on custom stamp layering, and she shows you how to use your existing stamps as well as all these fantastic layered stamp sets to create beautiful cards. If you've thought about subscribing to Creative Stamping, now might be the time, because we've got a fantastic £50 voucher for Craft Stash. You can buy all your stamping goodies and make sure that you really have everything you need to recreate the projects in the magazine. If you're not sure about subscribing, you can always find these copies in your local shops, in your supermarkets, your craft stores and WH Smiths, or you can go online to moremags.com or craftstash.co.uk and order your copy there. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed our little demonstrations. We're looking to bring you lots more as well, so tune in for the next one. Bye!